gardeners, I know a lot of us are near the end of the season, but I've been promising to do some videos while I can. Today I'm going to start using Tattler reusable lids and rings. It's going to make life a lot easier and more self-sustainable. Not to mention it has a better chance of not letting my fruits or meats or veggies go bad in the can, since it's not going to have any type of metal residue to leach into there. So what I'm going to do is get these pears that a friend of mine let me clear their tree. I have about 2 cases of these, so I'm going to be busy today. But I'm going to get these rinsed off clean, drop them into some hot boiling water to remove the skins, and then chop them cubed, get them ready for the jar. So I will be right back. Now it's not brain science, just get a pot of hot boiling water going, put your pears, apples, peaches, tomatoes into this hot boiling water, just a few at a time, 30 seconds to a minute. Usually the harder skin takes more of a minute, like peaches, and just bring them right out. They're going to be a little warm to the touch. You can put them in some chilled cold water if that helps a little better. I do not have tender fingers. Give it a little quick with a paring knife and voila, comes out nice and smooth. If it doesn't, maybe use those that are a little bit softer for jelly or jams or butters. So I've got quite a few more of these to do. So I'll be right back. I should mention, in a pinch, you don't have to do the hot water peel method. You can just get a vegetable peeler and get to going. This is the last of that first dish tub full. I decided to take a break and just have a seat. Plus a lot of these are so nice and ripe and ready. I've actually just gone to just using a paring knife. So I'll speed this up so you don't have to watch me do this. Boy, I've got so much juice. If you use everything that's sanitary, you can do this. This is going to be some really good pear butter. But I'm drowning myself. Okay, back to peeling. That one's so soft. Give it a whiff, not sour, good to go. Pear butter. Oh, isn't that so cute? Looks like a little man. Okay, he's got to go in there too. Now I'm going to go get my chicken bucket, get rid of all these scraps, clean myself up, and then we will get the jars loaded up. Be right back. Nothing goes to waste around here. If it doesn't go to the animals, it goes to the compost. Even the goats are loving these pears. Alright, let me get this out of the way. Clean up my mess. Now I'm going to just get my jars into the canner to finish sterilizing. I'm thinking that I'm going to use pint-sized jars, test out these Tattler lids. The pint-sized jars and the size of water bath canner I have, I can do a double layer, so I could probably put in about 12 to 14 jars. But I think I'm just going to try just about 7, just fill it in real good and see how that goes. Alrighty, just getting the jars in to sanitize. There's about 10 in there. Get that nice and hot. I know new regulations or guidelines, I guess you could say, we're recommending that you don't have to sterilize everything. I still feel a lot better of making sure nothing's going in my canned food, and that makes sure nothing comes back out that I don't want in there. Alrighty, so we're gonna get this going. It's gonna take about 10 minutes or so to get really going. It's been pretty hot. And then get the things all jarred up. Now, since you're going to do some fruit for canning, make sure you put either some citric acid powder or lemon juice. Now, I found one of these at an auction. I love it. It's just an old style juicer. Comes with a seed catcher. I can actually do a lot more lemons for my lemonade with this little sucker quicker than I can that little hand twisty thing. Makes me think I have arthritis at my early age. I can do a few lemons. Actually, this is one whole lemon. I just turn it a couple times in there, make sure all the nice juices get out, and I'm going to put some of this lemon juice in there with my pears. I didn't pay attention until I started seeing them turn brown. Not good. Not going to look so pretty, but this is just going for apple butter, so I'm not so worried. And I'm probably going to put another whole lemon inside of the large bowl of them too. Let me go, let me just do this one here real quick. Yes, I'm going to sharpen my knife. One whole lemon. So all I did was add in some fresh water, some lemon juice, and then I'm just going to cover it with a towel until I'm ready to use it. In a pinch, just stick it in the fridge. Oh, wonderful. Put lemon juice in here. These are little small lemons, so I just put in a whole one, mix it around. That'll keep them from turning. Alright, here we go. Now we're just waiting for our jars to be ready. A lot of people like to hot pack. These are so overripe. Hot packing is going to kill them. So they're going to be cold packed with hot water. I prefer not to add any extra syrup with sugar, or and I only use pure cane sugar when I do, or honey. But this is just going to be just with hot water. I've already had lemon juice in it from earlier. I put it in a little late, so my pears did start to turn, but they didn't get any darker. So I have some hot water already in with my canning lids, getting the rubber seals to start getting a little activated. Nice and hot. Since we're not using metal canners, normally you use a little pickup stick. I'm just going to use some tongs. I have my trusty jar funnel. I'm using just a dipper, and I just have to get the jars out of the oven. Alrighty, I've pulled my hot jars out of the oven, and I started with 2 while they're nice and warm at a time, putting them into the jar just using a scooper. And instead of heating up a separate pot of hot water besides my water boiler, which is nice and going right now, I'm using an instant water pot. Just plug it in and it's ready to go. So let's see here. I am cold packing these, or raw packing actually, because these are so overripe. Hot packing, where you boil them about 5 minutes in water or sugar syrup, will just kill them. They're just that soft. I'm going to go ahead and make sure the damp cloth, my jar is nice. Make sure it's all in there. Get it all settled in, any big large bubbles. And if it's a little too much, I have to take something out. One about an inch head space. That'll work. Shh. Okay. I'm going to put on my seal. Get that on there. And have me some lids ready. Let's grab one of those. There we go. Should have done this before I got started. There we go. Get a few of those. I'm going to put 7 in for now. That's how many I'm going to stick with this first batch. See how these Tattler rings really work. Nice clean band. Just finger snug. Don't crank it down. There we go. And it's going to go inside of the back. Make sure my ring is on really good. I don't like to use rusty bands, so I am a little picky there. It's hard to get them back off. Finger snug into the pot. Grab with your own way back. All right. 2 for 5. Okay, last jar for this first batch. Okay, I'll make a little piece. Alrighty. Well, there we go. Alright. Get that on there again. Okay. Finger snug. Alright. Come over here and take a look. Okay, I have 7 jars of Pears cold pack, or raw pack, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say cold pack, raw pack. All the Tattler lids seem to be nice and snug. First trial, so we'll see if it's too tight or too loose. Alright, let me set you down here. Whoops, sorry about that, making you dizzy. Okay. This is going to take, in my altitude, which is under 1,000 feet, it's going to take about 20 minutes. Now this is already right back to a boil. Basically, don't be afraid to put this baby on high. I'm going to set my timer, or you can use a regular timer too. Nice and boil, 20 minutes, and then we'll come back and take a look and see how we did. Alright, our 20 minutes are up. We're going to turn this off and check and see what's going on. And I'm going to vent this away from me. All of the lids are on. I don't see anything floating out as if one exploded. Since that's boiling up so good, give it just a second. Shut this darn thing up. There we go. Okay. There's one up here. Okay, do be careful here. Alright, get myself situated. Right here I have a towel. I'm setting up on a pan on some trivets because I just don't want it touching my new countertop. Isn't this so pretty? Okay. And I need a towel to drape over because I like it to cool slowly. Now I'm ready. Now remember, these are all bubbly. If they're like super boiling, let them sit a minute. There's no big rush here. This one doesn't look pretty to me. It's a little bulgy. I'm going to give that a second. Just in case. Okay, I'm just double checking. Make sure they're nice and tight. Woo! We have a storm going on right now, so. I only have one. It doesn't look right. It's still bubbled in there. So I'm going to leave it. I don't want it to explode on me. Give it a second. Still looks a little high. Other than that, those look pretty good. I'll come back in just a minute or two. Well, that looks a lot better. Now that last jar is pretty much down. Cool, cool, cool. I'd say we have success. Good morning. It's the next day after using for the first time the Tattler lids, and I'm quite impressed. I don't have any leakage. Let's take one off and check the seal. Nice and sturdy. I have them nice and flush all the way around the jar. That one is overlapping a bit on one side, but it's still nice on the other. Nice, good seals. I am quite impressed with these. Oh, that one did not seal good. I think it's the way that I had it on the jar. I will redo that one later. Or it might go into the apple butter or pear butter. Alrighty. Well, it looks like I only had one that I didn't put correctly on the jar somehow. Either that, or maybe when I was double checking the seal last night while it was still hot, I might have dislodged it. But I know it came out of the canner nice. I didn't have any leakage on the jar whatsoever. Well, I'm going to consider that a success. This one, we'll put that away. It's going to go into the canner a little later. Alrighty. Talk with you later.